Good morning, Academy 55. David Khan here on Tuesday, the 9th of September. It's 5 to 8 in the morning. We're looking at the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, following the fortunes of the Academy 55 indicators and strategy. As you can see here, we are in the zone for the 5 minute. I'm going to mark up the zones. So there is the sell zone. There is the buy zone. Go down to the minute time frame. And as you can see, we've got a buy alert. So can't hang around. Make sure you've got your risk reward in purple, your lot calc in purple, all important 1% risk. And I like to keep 22.2 pips away, which is there. Wait for everything to go green. And we could be in a trade as quick as that, really. No time to look at anything else at the moment, as you can appreciate, but we're waiting for all these to go green as well. So there could be a bit more of a distance than 2.2 pips between stop loss and indicator. Sorry, stop loss and entry. This is where I want my stop loss. But as you can appreciate, as the pips go higher and higher, got to wait for all these to turn green. The volume is just turned green. The wave is just turned green. I'm going to wait for price to get above there before committing to a buy because of the purple line there. If it does that, you should obviously would probably be around 4 or 5 pips between stop loss and entry, but I need that confirmation because the trend line is still very much not even 3 o'clock yet, and I want a good deal more confirmation than that. And indeed, it's already turning against me. So start again. 22. Turn it the right way. Still very much on the buy, but we've gone a bit sideways at the moment. Nice to see some people on here today. Good morning to you. David Khan here on Tuesday, the 9th of September. It's now 2 minutes to 8 in the morning. We'll have a look. Well, we was going to have a look at the bigger picture, but at the moment, we've just got this buy alert. So I don't really wish to move away from here at the moment. As you can see there is a gap in that is slippage. That's when the market moves so fast that the stream never picked it up. And this needs to be filled, just like imbalance does. And we got imbalance up here. This is on the 1 minute time frame, obviously. See, we've got time to draw the bigger picture up on trading view. Long position. Yeah, I'm going to wait for price to get to these levels here before committing to a larger buy if we get to that stage. But that takes me into the sell zone. But I want to see that confirmation because otherwise price could be tipping top, and that is a 4.3 stop loss from there to there. But I indeed want price to get above there As you can see, going on the 5 minute, I don't wish to take any. If that turns around and goes back down again, I'm going to let the sell do its thing because we will be in buy zones then. But having said that, it could be going down to there. Let's have a look on the 5 minute time frame. We've got a big deal of imbalances down here for price to get into on the 5 minute time frame. So maybe a sell is the call, despite that buy zone there, which has already been breached. So maybe we'll have to wait and see what happens, I guess. Right, back to where the action is. If this trend line goes green before reaching that purple line, then I'm much more likely to take a smaller stop loss to entry. But if it still stays red, I'll be waiting for price to get above that purple line to give me extra confirmation. But the wave has gone green again now. So this is where I want stop loss. Keep that there. And don't forget, price did go into the buy zone. So we're taking the next buy if it happens. But I'm just being super cautious now because we're underneath the purple line. So there is officially a sell bias. And we've got this sideways movement going on, which is not helping. So I'll set it up again, 22. So to be cautious, I want price to get above this purple line. Otherwise, it could go on to a deeper sell because we haven't got the green go ahead from the trend line yet, which is an important part of our strategy. Many times I anticipate this, the trend line going green when we have a lot of volume and it's fast moving, but it's not doing that. So I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. First trade of the week. But we are going sideways now. Let's try that again. That's where I want my stop loss, where the red wave changed to the green, but it's going flat sideways. Right, hang on. Here we go. We reached the purple line now. If it breaks through there, I'm in. If it bounces off it, that's fine. It'll do what it wants to do. Ideally, I want it to go above there, but can't have everything. So I'm being very cautious, as always. First rule of trading is to save your equity. Second rule is to save your equity. The trade is secondary to that. See that wick there filled that gap in there. So has it just clipped into there and then wants to come down again? That's the worry. If it goes higher, then I'm in. But if it doesn't, I'm not. Simple as really. Trend line has turned green now. So officially I can take the trade. But I want extra confirmation that we haven't just clipped into the imbalance and then moving back down again. I want a bit more confirmation creating a new high, then I'm in. Just that little bit of extra confirmation. So I've got my finger poised over the buy button, patiently waiting for it to go above that purple line, if indeed it will. At the moment, we're respecting that purple line. There we go. Right, so we're sort of stuck on this path at the moment, going sideways, which is never a good thing for any strategy or any form of trading. But that's okay. I'm not in any trade at the moment. By the way, incidentally, any trades taken on here today are for educational purposes only. So if you was tempted to get into the trade there, I'm pretty glad you waited now. Although it still might work, but we're talking minute detail here, really. Get that buy alert in there. Right. So they're picking up more orders. Sell orders more than anything, obviously. And this buy may not happen. Might turn into a sell. There we go. See that come down there? Look, I'm glad we didn't take that. So we would have been out. So all of a sudden, could be waiting for a sell alert. And this time, the stop loss will be there. Continuation. Seems that at the moment price came up to balance that slippage that happened. And now more sell orders are ensuing. So more good news for the dollar, bad news for the euro. So what we determine may have been a buy is obviously not happening now. Or is it? It may well do, of course. So look at the bigger picture, the 5-minute time frame. See the parallel SAR on the 5-minute is all the way down there. Wanting to push up. So mixed signals. And all the time going sideways. So it's not an ideal scenario. Too many mixed signals to sort of too many mixed signals equals extra confirmation in a buy or a sell. An extra confirmation invariably means a bigger stop loss to entry. And you may feel that sometimes the stop loss is so big that you'd rather come back at another time of the day and look again. And sometimes that might be the best option, but from your point of view, it's having the confidence and the mental discipline and knowledge to do that, knowing that we only need 1 or 2 trades a day. Price doesn't care that you've been waiting here for a long time, looking at the charts, waiting for the right position, and you need to go to work or downtown to do some shopping. Or Price doesn't care about that. It'll do what it wants to do. And you've got to have the discipline to acknowledge that and come and trade what the market is giving you, the right probabilities and stuff, and disregard your own personal feelings and your own personal lifestyle. So we still may be on this buy. They took some sell orders to bring it down here. Obviously not a lot of them. So we may still be looking at this buy. We didn't get in here because I was waiting for extra confirmation to ride all this out, all the slippage and all this imbalance. Glad we did, because it took some more sell orders and would have taken us out. So I escaped that by patiently waiting. Now we could find ourselves in this situation again of waiting for this buy to materialize. Stop loss will be there, just the same as normal. But I'm going to wait for price to get above this purple line, if indeed it does. Right, let's That's where my stop loss will be. Let's see what happens again. And of course, all the time going sideways, so it's picking up more orders. It could be fooling people out to put stop losses there for a sell and going, and just like it did here, and then come back down again. That's how the banks make their money, taking these sell orders, taking equity from themselves, thank you very much, and carrying on sideways. But we haven't taken a trade yet, so we're saving our money, just weighing up our options. .4 pips. Let's see, it bounced off that purple line again. Not rushing into anything. So indeed, it is going sideways. Which way is it going to go? That's the thing. Still could continue on this sell and come back down here again. At the moment, it's picking up orders. So it's all a question of how many sell orders is going to be. If there's enough, obviously it will carry on down. In big indecision candle, the candle before. This is where this is all experience of keeping your discipline, holding your nerve, looking at why price is doing what it's doing and understanding that. That's all about experience. That's the one thing I can't teach you. And that's why people who've been on here a long time, gaining that experience, they've gotten themselves experience under their belt, which is good, a really good thing. And here we go again, more sell orders. Giving 2.2 pips away, which is down there. Like I say, if you've got your NT4 or NT5 on, make sure your risk reward is in purple. There we go, see? Now I can't get in till it gets up there anyway. And it's more sideways action. We've got a buy zone down there. So not the ideal situation. So if I was to take, if the seller that happens, my stop loss will be on the trend line there. And it will be risky, more riskier because we got buy zone down here. but we have had a big sell. There we go. All of a sudden sell. So my stop loss will be there. Volume ribbon isn't quite red yet, and the trend line's not red yet, but that could happen very, very quickly. Is price going to tap into that imbalance down there and then come back up again? Yeah, there we go. All disappeared. Typical, isn't it? And really, I would personally, because I would rather come back at another stage, but we're here live. But then again, another stage, it could all change within the next 15 minutes. Once we got rid of all this consolidation, sideways movement. Could be as little as that. Could be an hour away. We don't know. But that line there is more or less suggesting it's sorted that imbalance on these candles here, that wick there. Has it done that so it can march on up again? Try again on this activating on this buy. It took some sell orders, enough just to do that. And they're taking orders, sell and buy orders within this zone. That's why it's going sideways. But our indicators are keeping us true at the moment. So we still might be activating off this buy. Now starting the whole process again. Waiting for the stop loss to be where we are right now, and waiting for price to go above that purple line to prove, well, not to prove, but to have more confidence that we have actually broken this consolidation and indeed heading on more on up. And while we're at, of course, while we're at this juncture, can't really do anything else at the moment, because just like all of a sudden we could have been on a sell within like a couple of minutes, all of a sudden we could be on a buy whilst I'm showing you something else and miss it altogether. So I can't really move off this at the moment. And all the time I'm okay because I'm not wasting any money, which is a really good result. And gaining a little bit of experience of what price can do, and explaining why it does what it does. Sideways movement is just basically the banks picking up orders, stop losses, which is an order, picking up orders and determining if there's, simple as if there's enough sell orders, it will go down. If there's enough buy orders, it'll go up. obviously, that's simple in simple terms. But also, at times when there's low volume, they can put their own money into making a sell happen and a buy happen to encourage retail traders like us to fool us out basically. And while you're in this zone, all of a sudden they'll, oh, thank you very much, I'll have that. If there's no urgency to move the euro one way or the other in as far as the dollar and the euro is concerned, that's what they'll do. That's how they make their money. And this happens 80% of the time anyway, so we shouldn't be too surprised about that. But understanding that's what's exactly happening. It's our job to sort of not get caught up in all this as much as you can. Of course, we still get caught in it occasionally, but the Academy 55 generally is pretty good at not getting caught in it if you understand what's going on a bit, you know, and and appreciate that. Oh, look, they're doing this. I can't be bothered watching this. I'll come back again some other time, or wait for things to settle down a bit. Now we've got a big parabolic SAR down here, so we're on that buy again all of a sudden. But the same thing applies. We've got to wait for price to get above this purple line to give us extra confirmation. The wave has just started to turn green now. So we're still activating off this buy. But appreciate that we're in this sideways motion. So they still might be collecting orders to bring it back down again. We just got to appreciate that. That could be what's happening. So a quick look on the 5 minute. See the 5 minute candle, big indecision there. Oh, 2.2 pips away. There. Yeah, this is waiting for a breakout one way or the other, basically. Now, obviously, we can't, if there is a seller that happens, we can't get in until that parallel SAR has been swept and gone above price. And stop loss will be at on the trend line, which will be red, hopefully. And that will probably give us quite a substantial stop loss to entry. The sentiment seems to be going on the sell, really, doesn't it? It wants to come down because we are on a sell bias, because we are underneath the purple line anyway. So all of you out there who are disappointed because there is no trade at the moment, I would say to you, it's a really good time because you're not losing any money. Waiting for all these confirmations. See, we still might be activating off this buy. And indeed, why in the strategy we only look for an hour, because after an hour of, if this happened for an hour, like, you can imagine your focus is diminished, you get more lackadaisical. You might be tempted to take a trade just for the hell of it. Oh, the buy might work or the sell might work, you know. Um, all these things go into your head after an amount of time, and you lose focus and concentration, basically. So really, I mean, I've got the focus of a gnat, to be fair, and I'd be getting out of this and coming back later on in the day because I can. Um, but I'm booked in for an hour, so we'll stay with it. And this is helping me, to be fair, because it's I guess focus is something you got to train for, and you know, increments like holding breath underwater. You start with like 30 seconds, and you move up to a minute, and then a minute and a half, and maybe 2 minutes and beyond. But you do bits at a time, a bit like focus, really. Focus for half an hour, and the next day you focus for 40 minutes. So I am building my focus up. And indeed, if it helps you with your trading, although I'm talking to you live, obviously, why you could pretend that you are showing somebody else trading and just talk to yourself, basically. Make sure other people aren't hearing you because they might think you're going mad. But if you it may well help you with your focus. Explain to yourself what's going on. Talk aloud if you want to, as long as nobody else is in earshot and thinks you're going mad, or obviously. And understand this happens more often than not. And what is happening? They're picking up orders, tricking retail traders to put in a sell or a buy, whatever the case may be, and then going down to take that equity for themselves. Thank you very much. And not a lot is going on. The more they do this, the more energy is being built up for a sell or a buy, and then eventually it'll go or. But this build up could take as long as they wanted to, depending on what overall news is coming in on the dollar or the euro, good or bad. And they don't have to activate off it because there's no red flag news in the vicinity for a while. Although we as traders stay away from the red flag news because we don't know whether it's going to be good or bad. red flag news makes the markets move, and there ain't nothing like that at the moment. So as far as we know, officially, they could carry on like this, but unofficially, they might be have knowledge of a big whale somewhere ready to invest millions of dollars one way or the other, but we don't know that. Right, so still haven't activated off this, and all the time the wave has gone down, which means that's where my stop loss, which means we're going to have a large stop loss if price does break that purple line. And it's got to break that purple line because we don't know whether it's going to bounce like it did there, bounce like it did there. So really, like I said, personally, I'd be jumping off and coming back later on in the day, but we'll keep watching because this is good for me as well. It proves my focus. Although it is rather boring. Like I say, we only need 1 or 2 trades a day. And the reason we need only 1 or 2 trades a day is because of this.
So here's how you make profits without putting yourself under too much pressure. Let's look at a situation where you've got yourself a $100,000 FTMO prop firm account and you win 10%. You'll win $10,000. Now, FTMO will pay you 80% of that after their 20% commission retention. So you'll make $8,000. $8,000 a month is $96,000 a year. In pounds, that's £71,110. In euros, 82,430. Now, in pounds, if you divide that by 12, you'll find it's £5,925 a month. In euros, €6,869 per month. But what if you only won 7.25% per month? Well, your payout from FTMO would be in dollars £1,115 per week, in pounds £1,000 a week, and in euros €956 per week. So as you can see, making profits without putting yourself under undue pressure makes complete sense. Look at the numbers on the screen in front of you now. On the left, if you win only 10% per month, those are the numbers. On the right, if you fail to hit that realistic target of 10% and only achieve 7.25%, that's $1,115 a week, £1,000 a week if you're in the UK, and €956 a week across the Eurozone. This is why we target only 10%. It's all about making profits without putting ourselves under undue pressure.
Thanks, Steve. Right. Stop loss is on the trend line. Really, I'd like to get under that area there for a bit more of a sell. See, it keeps on painting and repainting. Trend line is flashing from green to red. So there's nothing permanent going on at the moment, but all of a sudden we could be in a sell situation. But I want to give it a bit more stop loss to entry. Maybe 4 pips. Price down here sort of thing. Obviously, a few more sell orders came in. Yeah, I'm going to go in the trade now. 4.2 pips stop loss. I'm well aware there's a buy zone here, so it is not ideal. But there was a big push down. See there's the so I'll get rid of that a minute. Put my short position on. That's where my stop loss was. 4.2 pips, which is just in the trade there. Look, there we go. Brings my 2-to-1 down all the way down to there. So if I take the as you can see, we're in the buy zone, but there is a hell of a trend going for a sell. Hopefully, we will sweep past this buy zone, and the next buy zone is down here, which is okay, but we know we're in sell zone, buy zone territory. Hang on, let's get this horizontal ray. And the next line is there, obviously, at 1.1756. Let's there we go. There's the trade. Let's stick with trading view at the moment because it's a lot easier to manipulate. So let's go on the 15-minute time frame. Now we've got on the 15-minute, we got imbalances down here, which is good. But is it going to tap in and then go back up again like it did there? But these areas here have got to be filled. But also we have areas up here as well. So this area here now, look, that area, the imbalance has been filled by that. So let's just hope there's enough oomph to maybe because this is a buy zone, maybe there may be orders down there. We don't know. Wow. Right. So we are over 1%. So I'm going to put my right. We're in. Do you know what? Right now, I'm tempted to just to take it out now when we get to, or I will go. I don't want to move my stop loss because let's have a look at the 5 minute and see what's going on. I am tempted to take out right now, to be fair. And I think I will. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. being true to the Academy 55 strategy, but I'm going to be tempted to at 1.5% take it there. That's what I'm tempted to do, and that's what I've done. Because we had a big stop loss down there. So I took it out at 1.5%. And that's indeed what I've done. Did I do the right thing? I'm not too bothered whether I did the right thing or not. I'm happy with what I've done. But seeing as I'm here with you guys live and I can see all this imbalance here, didn't want to push it too much. So indeed, I did take it out there and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that. So what I'll do now is I will throw open the chat. If anybody's got any questions, as you can see, it did go on to 2%, but I was recognizing we were pushing through the buy zone and I would have got me 2% if I hadn't done that, but I'm fine with that. Didn't want to push it too much personally because of that buy zone. So 1.5% it is, and that'll do me fine. So what I'll do now is I will put a trend line. This is my own personal journal. So I put a trend line. This is where I got out here. And text. TP for take profit. 1.5%. I'll and what I'll do then is I will take a screen, copy link. Then I will go over to my journal and put the screenshot in my journal for you guys to look at, all the members of Academy 55. It was a sell. It won. It won 1.5%. Whereas on the EUR USD, the time was between 8 and 9, and we are on Tuesday the 9th. Tuesday the 9th. This is free for all Academy 55 members. So that puts me on 7.5% for the month. Pretty good already, seeing as we're only a little bit way into September. So, great session. Interesting as price is so high. Okay, Raj. Anna says, thanks. Okay, so as you can see, it would have held my nerve, but the warning signs were there because we were in a buy zone. I didn't want to push it because we was causing all these imbalances here. You understand? Price did stall around here. So I'm happy with what I got. But price did go on to the 2%. So that is the live today. Thanks very much, guys. When am I else? When am I on again? Let's just remind myself. I'm going to. Actually, I can show you this as well. I'm on to the our own thing. So when am I on again? Oh yeah, I'm on 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on the 10th. So I will see you guys. Hang on, we got another. Kevin says thanks. So I'll see you guys again, same time tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks very much for watching and cheers for now. Bye bye.